and pitfalls. Dr. Khanna.
Can somebody take the pen drive from me, please? The talk is on blossoming medic. Put it on, I'll tell you what. A very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm grateful to the organizers for having given me this opportunity to share some thoughts which I have about the Indian healthcare scenario, the aesthetic surgery scenario, and to bring to you some points which I'm sure will run a thought in everybody's mind. The topic which I chose when Mr. Satya Brahma called me, I said I would like to talk about a topic very close to my heart, which I've been trying to bring the government to notice and probably take some action, is the blossoming aesthetic Medicare in India, hurdles and pitfalls. The industry is blossoming. There's a lot of scope to blossom. There's a lot of greenery around, but there are lots and lots of hurdles and pitfalls. And if you did spend some time just looking at me and my slides, you would appreciate and understand how many pitfalls and hurdles are there for the industry itself and for the common man who probably is being taken a ride in many situations because of these hurdles. This doesn't move. Can you get me something to move, please? The pointer or the slides? Aesthetic medicine became a big name in India and all over the world. Can you get me something that moves the slides, please? In 1990s. In fact, in 1995, there's a big boom all over the world. Cable TV had come in. The internet had reached almost every home or was going to reach every home, and travel became so much easy. There was also increased awareness. Everybody knew what's going on anywhere in the world. And that all increased the awareness of cosmetic surgery. And these two ladies did India a big favor. Did the Western market a big favor as well? Or was it by sheer quality or by design? You never know, the Western world can do a lot of things by design. Miss World and Miss Universe both came from India. Sushmita Sen and Aishwarya Rai got those crowns, and the Indian market, which was already bubbling, was just there for the taking for the Western world. There was tremendous increase in the desire of improving looks. There was a media explosion, the hype was there, and the cosmetic surgery in the West was very, very aggressively marketed. Marketed saying, pretty much rightly saying, no side effects. There are actually no side effects of cosmetic surgery. There may be complications, there may be difficult problems, a bad scar, a bad result, non-healing wound, not a good result. But there are no side effects that can kill you. It's safe. The results are permanent. There are many other procedures where the results are temporary, but cosmetic surgery result is permanent. And there's no need to stay in the hospital, do the surgery and go back home, whether you're doing a facelift or a liposuction or a tummy tuck or a breast augmentation or a hair transplant. This actually is from a newspaper in Calcutta which took an article of mine, and the heading of the article was, "What Salman thinks in the head, Sushmita feels in the heart." Very appropriate and correct. For Sushmita Sen, as is very evident, is much bigger around the heart, and Salman Khan is much thicker around the head in these two photographs. To talk about hair transplant a little bit, which is my forte, and I've been fortunate that I've been awarded today by the jury as the most admired hair transplant surgeon in the country. Thank you so much. It is the commonest cosmetic surgery in the male. In fact, hair is a multi-billion industry. People are craving to get hair, and women are craving to get hair off their body, be it in the upper lip or the chin or the beard or whatever it is. Nobody wants to look bald. You get a guy, if he's shaven his head, well, the common adage in Hindi, angur अंगूर खट्टे हैं. There's no other option. Nobody likes to look bald. And there can be such a big difference in your looks with or without hair. Let's see an example. Onto your left hand side is a very well-known figure to you. Of course, not well known now because memory sees a different figure. This was about 8 years ago. Harsha Bhogle. And the right hand side of your side is a Caucasian, a New Zealander. Both are 49 years old. The Caucasian has so many forehead wrinkles, prominent nasolabial folds, signs of aging. Harsha Bhogle, fortunately we Indians or Asians are thicker skinned, literally thicker skinned. We don't age early. The wrinkles come in late, and only a sitting of a hair transplant for Harsha Bhogle can make him look 15 years younger. Look at those figures, those pictures. 15 years younger. Harsha Bhogle with just one hair transplant. Huge change. So that is what is the importance of hair transplant, especially in the Indian context where facelifts and all that stuff is not so much required because we fortunately wrinkle less. And the real reasons why hair transplant became so rampant in India was these two people whom we very commonly saw. Salman Khan, he did 1, 2, 3 hair transplants. And Harsha Bhogle, my brand ambassador, did a hair transplant. And people started to believe that hair transplant works. It is possible to get back your hair. It is possible to remove your baldness and to look youthful and young again. Why does hair transplant work? To give you a little idea, just a minute or so. When anybody loses hair, you lose hair in the front and the middle. Nobody loses in the back. The back hair are permanent. Even somebody like Anupam Kher's got hair at the back. Because these hair are permanent, they never fall. If I take hair from there and plant it anywhere, it will stay for life. And grow like normal hair, need haircuts, never fall, comb them, oil them, shampoo them, and they stay for the rest of your life. The awareness has increased tremendously over the last few years. The demand is so rampant that any Tom, Dick and Harry nowadays who has some medical science wants to start doing hair transplant. And there's also an awareness of the FUT and the FUE and what is good and what is bad. The internet is of course available and people don't mind going to it. I've been fortunate to have been doing hair transplant for 20 years. From 1995, I've done more than 5,000 cases. Essentially an outpatient procedure. It takes about 4 to 6 hours to do a surgery. The patient under local anesthesia is awake. You can have your tea, coffee, have your lunch in the middle of surgery, watch television, and you go home right after the surgery. There's no staying in the hospital. And the beauty of a good hair transplant nowadays is it produces absolutely natural appearing results. You cannot make out, not even your barber can make out whether it's a hair transplant or original hair. Of course, it's very, very important to have a team to work together to do a hair transplant, a team of 4 to 8 people working together. I am fortunate to have a good team working with me for 15 years, 20 years actually, of people who together do a hair transplant. We enjoy the surgery, and that is why we do it again and again and do it so successfully. To show you a few examples, it's important that when a patient of hair transplant comes out, nobody knows that the hair transplant is done. In the strip technique, nobody knows from where they have been taken. This is right after the surgery when the strip has been taken. You cannot make out from where they have been taken. And if you see a patient after 10 days also, he's got some hair in the front, there's no point of working here actually. But you cannot make out from where they've taken. The hair has been taken from the back, but it's done so well and nicely that you don't see any defect or residual scar. To show you a few examples, we'll run through them before I come on to my talk. A young guy is actually a pilot in India, 22-year-old. 22-year-old boy. His classmates call him Dadu, grandfather. Why not? He's fortunately no more a grandfather after a hair transplant. 60-year-old, actually, he's a French second counselor in Calcutta. 45-year-old doctor. What a big change. What a big change. Another young guy. Friend of mine, actually a doctor, a well-known laparoscopic doctor in Calcutta. One hair transplant. Another guy, a doctor, he's from Varanasi again, 2 sittings. Look at this guy. Look at the change in the hairline. Young guy, he's lost his hairline. He's only 23, upset about it. And what about this? This looks like a father and son combination. The starking difference is so much. And this guy's father did not actually recognize him initially and took a minute or two to realize, oh, Kamal, he's actually from Mumbai. And to a few well-known faces, which you probably will recognize and you see, my very good friend Arun Lal, who's also had a great benefit hair transplant, Brijesh Patel, the well-known ex-cricketer, Yusuf Pathan. You'll see a new Yusuf Pathan in this IPL. Please mind my words. This IPL, you'll see a different look in Yusuf Pathan. And of course, last but not the least, my brand ambassador, Harsha Bhogle, who really has changed the scenario. Girls also are benefited, as you can see in this young girl. It's really a shame or a disgrace for an Indian society for a woman not to have hair. See this lady, continuously taunted by her mother-in-law. The husband doesn't like it. She's pretty thin and bald. And so is this girl who's had a problem. Lost a lot of hair. And that smile in her face tells you what has she gained back. To show you an example, there is a patient who had a first sitting, the one on top on the right, a second sitting and a third sitting, a big change. In fact, this guy who's fully bald, as you can see on your right top of the screen, looks so very different after 3 sittings of a hair transplant. Just a small residual patch at the back, almost everything covered fully. He tells me, Dr. Saab, every day when I see the mirror, I remember you. That is the biggest gratitude or gratifying feeling a doctor can have. And the results are so good that even with a comb, it's difficult to find out a scar at the back where the hair had been taken. So that is the beauty of a hair transplant, which can really transform somebody's life. There are other cosmetic surgery procedures I do, like liposuction, breast enlargement, reduction, etc., etc. But what I'm going to talk today, my gratefulness to my team. Excellent team I have. These youngsters are working with me for a number of years, and without them, I would never have been able to be here and get this award. My gratitude to my team. I'm grateful to them for being with me for so many years. If you think only stars get a hair transplant, sorry. Both these gentlemen have got a hair transplant. You might not be knowing them, but the prime ministers from either side of the border, both have had a hair transplant. Wow. And to be a good hair transplant surgeon or to be a good surgeon or being anything in life, I think is very important. I'm actually a cricket fanatic. I've been a commentator on television for 25 years for cricket and tennis. And I've fortunately also done a lot of surgery for cricketers. And Greg Chappell and me, I'm a big fan of his, although I'm from Bengal, and he's not the most popular guy in Bengal, because Saurav Ganguly is from there, good friend of mine. But what he said, I think is so very apt in life, that success is by choice and not by chance. Success is not by chance, but is a matter of choice. And you have to have that choice to be successful. I made a choice deliberately in 1995 to be a cosmetic surgeon, be a good hair transplant surgeon, and that is why that choice I persuaded and persisted with to be able to get to this stage today. So what are the hurdles? What are the pitfalls? There are so many hurdles and pitfalls and hurdles and pitfalls. I don't know how to finish in that time that is allotted to me. And the biggest hurdle is in misleading advertisement. There is a spate of misleading advertisement in India today. The health industry is flooded with advertisements, and majority of them, unfortunately, are misleading. They talk of practices which are totally unethical, which are wrong. They talk of procedures which they sell to people with false promises, which have no results, which will not give any result in the long-lasting run. And there are many business houses. I don't name any business houses, but there are so many business houses nowadays talking of cosmetic medicine and cosmetic surgery, and they are just only interested in making a fast buck. They are not interested in giving care to the patient. The doctor, the medical community, the main aim should be to provide good service. Money will follow. And what will you do with that money? After a certain stage, money is useless. When you have enough, a car, a house, etc., money actually for most doctors, they'll find out, they don't even count it properly. But to not give medical services properly and to just earn a buck, the business houses are actually being rampant wrong in India. You see, on a daily basis, we are bombarded with all sorts of ads. For hair, the ads are so very rampant and continuously misleading. There are campaigns which persuade hundreds and thousands of people who are suffering from hair loss to spend nearly $1 billion every year. $1 billion every year on ineffective hair loss treatment. Look at this ad. It's about having your strength back. That's what we're all about. Get your hair back. But what are they saying? What are they really doing? Unfortunately, in India, we have no regulatory body for health care. There is no body that controls advertising in health. I also have an office in Dubai. I've been practicing in Dubai from 2007. If I want to give an ad in Dubai, I have to go through the DHA, the Dubai Health Authority. Only when they approve the ad can I give the ad. If the ad is not approved, I cannot publish that ad. But who looks at it in India? You can write anything and do anything and the paper will just publish.